إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونتوب إليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير. وأشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا وحبيبنا محمد عبد الله ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وحبيبه، بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف بإذن الله الغمة وجاهد في الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين. اللهم صل وسلم وزد وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brother in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I started with this khutbah. It's called Khutbat al-Hajj, the need, the Khutbat al-Hajj. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he starts something great, he usually starts with these words just I mentioned before, the translation to English. And I feel it's a great honor. We need to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who brought me to be with you in this nice night to talk about the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And maybe this year we start to talk about something maybe different from the last year, because during this year, last year, we have a lot of researches about prophetic medicine. And when I said many researches, that means many proofs. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it to discover, to understand in depth or in deep what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned about medicine. And when I said prophetic medicine, I mean it is a medicine that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us from Allah, either in the Quran or in Sunnah and Hadith. So it is not really the prophetic medicine, but it is Allah's medicine. Allah's medicine means that Allah is a creator. He created us. And He didn't leave us alone by ourselves to discover the fire like the people who, they try to put that in our mind with corrupted mind. The ancient human being, or Adam and his sons and daughters, discovered the fire by hitting two stones together, and they didn't know how to wear clothes. They start to put some leaves in their bodies, and they take some skin of animals. No, it is not the truth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam, and He gave him the full knowledge. So Adam alayhi salam, he knows medicine, he knows sociology, or he knows economy, and he knows agriculture, he knows how to build the houses, everything, because Allah said that in the Quran, وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. That means everything, single knowledge, Adam taught from Allah directly. Okay? And Adam, when he came with this loaded with knowledge, he came to the earth and he started gradually to teach his sons. And year after years, he, in medicine, started to give them what is called the prophetic, not the prophylactic medicine. That means preventive medicine. So do and don't. If you come close to the alcohol, you will get sick. If you do this bad deal in money, you will get sick. Sickness doesn't mean something happening in your body. Maybe something happening in your mind or in your spirit. If we look to the World Health Organization, in the last few years, they used to give a definition of health. used to have too many definitions to health, and every year they come with a new definition. The latest definition said it is health means the person is good, has no disease in his body or his mind or spirit. Before just we said body and mind, mental and physical health. No, they found that people are very strong and they are intelligent. They get straight A's and they kill themselves. And they found there is a missing part. There is a triangle here. 3 radius of this triangle. One is body, mind, and the spirit. And they found, oh, there is a missing gap in the modern society about the spirit. And they start to say, okay, we need to develop this aspect. Because the people, if they are become materialistic, you have everything in your mind, and you're still suffering from a lot of diseases. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he started to teach the medicine that he learned from Allah, either in the Quran or came with the Jibreel as a sunnah. And Allah mentioned that in the Quran very clear. He said, وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. That's the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He's not talking any words by his own. He's talking by the revelation, by the wahy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah sending this as a wahy. And some people will ask, oh no, we don't believe of these words. Why you said that? He learned that from, his trips to, he used to travel 2 trips, one to Yemen, رحلة الشتاء والصيف, and one north to the Sham. I said no, because during his life, during the 40 years of his life, he never spoke just one hadith about health. That's a good proof. If you learn something, when you develop your knowledge, usually you develop your knowledge in early 20s or late 20s or early 30s. That's the maximum knowledge you will get. And after you are just built up about your specialty. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He selected him to be a prophet when his age became 40. And during these 40 years, he never taught one hadith about health. If you look to the whole books of Sunnah, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to talk about the honesty, about you have to be truthful, about the good deed, good attitude, good behavior, good, as a preparation. When he say anything after that, you have to believe in him. So, in prophetic medicine, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam brought to us too many aspects of knowledge. And not only knowledge, because knowledge is not just one aspect from science. Science means 3 things: knowledge, skills, and the attitude. Without the 3 aspects, it's not science. If you learn, you keep your learning, reading books, you just add knowledge, but you are not adding skills. It is not a science. So science, and now this is a modern science, you have to have the 3 aspects: knowledge, skills, and the attitude. And the gap in this year in our schools all over the world, it is the 3rd aspect, which is attitude. How to build attitude to our students. We give them knowledge, sometimes we build up their skills, but about attitudes, we can't.
But the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he gave these three aspects to us. So the knowledge, start to look to the Quran. And when our mother Aisha asked about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, she said, كَانَ خُلُقُهُ الْقُرْآنِ. That means his manner is Quran. Quran. And Quran is mean, when you read a verse of these ayahs, you used to follow, to practice. And Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu mentioned, I'm not that fast reader of Quran. He said that about himself. I'm not just fast reader. I read the 10 ayahs and I start to practice these 10 ayahs. Then I go to the next. And that it changes his attitude. You understand? Because knowledge, we have a problem these days between the scholars, the Muslims, all over the world. There is a great gap between knowledge, skills, and the attitude. That's right. You found the man who is a good voice, he memorized the whole Quran. When he speaks about the religion, he's perfect. But look about his deen, whose money was halal, was haram, or something else. As if he's not the same person, he's another one. But the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he gave us an ideal example. You have the three things: knowledge, skills, and attitude. Remember these three things. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he gave us an order to follow his sunnah and the sunnah of the khulafa after them. And he said, try to bite in them with your teeth. With your teeth. عليكم بسنتي وسنة الخلفاء الراشدين المهديين من بعدي عضوا عليها بالأنابل. That you have to bite. Keep it. If your hand is, you can't catch it with your hand, you keep it in your mouth. Yes, we see that. In prophetic medicine, before we go to the prophetic medicine, let us just make break the ice between you and me and you, you know. I need to ask one of you if you are working in a hospital. Do you have somebody working in a hospital here sitting with us? We need to have just interaction. If we have somebody. You used to work. Okay. I'm saying this year or these days there is something developing so fast in medicine. It's called material medicine or technomedicine. Technomedicine. Technomedicine means what? They put a plan about, they said 2050, you will not go to the hospital unless you have an accident. If you are sick, you go to some place, it's called technomedicine. What the meaning of technomedicine? You go to the place, you feed the computer with your information, and they ask you a few questions about your complaint. You just put my complaint is fever, sore throat, dizziness, whatever you have. And the computer will select, say, okay, go to room 3. You will go for blood test, urine analysis, and ultrasound, abdominal ultrasound. That is, the computer will say that after you feed them, that the computer with your information. You go to the room 1, you make the lab test, you go for MRI, you go for this, and the results go direct to the computer. And the computer gives you the diagnosis, not the human being. And the computer will prescribe your medicine because you feed the computer with your information. And that was called technomedicine. That means the technology become everywhere. The only human being who will interfere if you have an accident. So we go for, and in accident they said the same things. We have some machines connected to the computer will diagnose how far the trauma, or how far the fracture in your leg, and so on. And gradually there is no human interference in your treatment. The machine will treat you. But in the future, near future, if you look to what happened, the old people like me, or if you look before, the doctor used to do everything with his hand and with his brain. He used his skill and knowledge. But the technomedicine has no skills. The doctor has no skills. The machine will work. Okay? In prophetic medicine, we have none. I'm not saying that. He said, no, you have to put your hand, because that's what they say these days, the energy therapy, bioenergy. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he had any problem, he used to put his hand and start to recite Quran and make dua. And sometimes he put his hand in his saliva. And he said, بريقة بعضنا وتربة أرضنا يشفى سقيمنا بإذن ربنا. He starts to use the hand and use the ground, the earth. Nowadays we have too many researches about that. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in medicine, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, قل إن كنتم تحبون الله فاتبعوني يحببكم الله ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم. If you said we love Allah, you have to follow the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah will love you back, and He will forgive all your sins. We have to follow Him in medicine. Yes, you follow Him in medicine. You follow Him how the way He used to eat. You follow Him how the way He used to dress. You follow the way how He make salah. You follow all His ways, because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came with ideal plan for human being. If you need to have an ideal way to live your life, the Prophet Muhammad came with this ideal way. In prophetic medicine, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make the medicine came from Allah directly, either from the ayah and the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But the modern medicine come by man mind, some researches, and these researches, I don't want to make you get frustrated about the medicine you are taking, but listen, if they said, the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, FDA approval, that means it is not 100% acceptance from this medicine. That means you have, for example, 10 researches about one single drug. 6 of them said it is good and 4 said it is bad. But they never look at the bad research and said that there is side effect almost covered and said it is approved by FDA. But Allah researches said 100% approval, because He's a creator. You understand? Subhan al-Alim al-Hakim. Allah, His knowledge, you can compare the knowledge of Allah by the knowledge of human being. The prophetic medicine, it is hopeful. Never has a disease called hopeless disease. Because we believe, وَإِذَا مَرِضْتُ فَهُوَ يَشْفِينِ. If you get sick, Allah will cure you. So if you said Allah will cure me, that means Allah has a holy power, absolute power. So no limitation to His power to get well. And that's what we hear from every day. Somebody come and said, Doctor, I have hepatitis C. have the virus in my liver. I said, okay, Allah, inshallah, we will help you, just eat this and do this and that. I said, doctor, I said hepatitis C. I said, okay, I told you Allah. Hepatitis C, that's me. It's a very small virus. How you can say it is something very resistant to the Allah's way? No, nothing is resistant to Allah's way. That's right. So if you have the belief, He will cure me, He will cure you. Very easy. So the prophetic medicine cured the human body, mind, and the spirit. We have no separation or speciality in prophetic medicine. We don't say, okay, I'll take care of your knees, but I don't want, I don't care about your stomach, will get ulcers from the medicine you are taking. Or if you get this problem, no. We look to the human being as one unit. Even in the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to say, ألا إن في الجسد مضغة إذا صلحت صلح سائر الجسد. There is certain part in your body, if it gets well, the whole body will get well. ألا وهي القلب, your heart. You go now to the heart specialist, he care about your heart, but he doesn't care about the others. No. You have to look for the whole body system at the same time. The prophetic medicine treat the doctors and treat patients as well. Some people ask how the medicine treat doctors. Treat doctors from two things. Number one, frustration. When you try to help somebody and you can't, you get frustrated. You believe sometimes you are the healer, not Allah. But when you deal with prophetic medicine, your power is limited. And that's what exactly mentioned when Alexander the Great, when he died. Before he died, he said, I will give an advice, I will give some written recommendation. He asked his assistants, when I die, don't let anybody carry my body. Let the highly specialized doctor in my country. And they get surprised. Why? I said, just write down. That's my will. He said, okay, we start write. This is Alexander the Great. We start to write down. And the second thing, when you carry me, never put my hand inside the clothes you wrap me. No, let my hand get out. Let the people look at my hands. And they get surprised. I said, write it down. That's my will. They write it down. Wrote it down. And they said, the third one, when you carry me from my palace, I need you to put the all good jewelries and good stuff. I earned it. During my life, you put it in the way between my palace to my grave. They wrote it down. And they asked him, please, can you explain that to us? They need to learn, to get some knowledge. He said, yes. The only people carry me when I die, the best doctors in my country. Because the people has to know they can help me. They can do nothing with Allah's way. If Allah said you will die, you will die. So the Sha'ar said, إِنَّ الطَّبِيبَ لَهُ عِلْمٌ يَدِلُّ بِهِ. I'm sorry, I will say that by Arabic, then I will try to translate it. إِنَّ الطَّبِيبَ لَهُ عِلْمٌ يَدِلُّ بِهِ ما دام في الأعمار تأجيل فإذا ما انقضت أيام مهلته حار الطبيب وخانته العقاقير. That's me. The doctor just work with Allah's will. If you still have time in your life, the doctor will get succeed because you still have time. But once your time is gone, the doctor will use it. Hard tabib will say, I don't know what to do with this case. And the medicine doesn't work at that time. And that's what we see. You see the people, things, this leaders, presidents, they go everywhere, they travel, they carry the body, or carry the patient, not the body yet. Carry him to all clinics, all hospitals, do surgery. But when the time comes, and the doctor raised their hand and said, we have nothing to do. So in prophetic medicine, we always give the hope to the patient. Yes, because Allah is a healer. So we always remind the patients Allah is a healer. And nothing can resist Allah's will. In prophetic medicine, there is no side effect of all these remedies. If you look to the books, medical book about the side effect of honey, for example, you will never find one side effect. They said the honeybee has one side effect. No. Because Allah mentioned, فِيهِ شِفَاءٌ لِلنَّاسِ. It has a cure for all people, all mankind. So if it has a cure, you will never see just one side effect. No. Some brother asked me, you know, some brother when they do the hijama, we got some side effects. I said the side effects not from the hijama. It comes from the practitioner who do the hijama. You know, the method itself, it is curative. Because the Prophet Muhammad mentioned in through hadith, الشفاء في ثلاث, the cure in three. شربة عسل, drinking of honey. وشرطة محجم, scratch of cupping the practitioner. وكية نار, and cauterizations. And make cauterizations prohibited. That's the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned. If he said the cure in three, it is in three. That's right. But about the practicing, yeah, there's some problem. Some brother didn't follow the rules. They didn't follow the guidelines. They didn't follow, you know, the universal precautions. You know, to drink from this patient the cup and use it for the other one. He use the same blade, or he do too much cups, or there are some mistakes. It's a human mistake. But during the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to develop the skills. I mentioned knowledge first, then the skills. He didn't make it open for everybody. Nowadays we can see that all over the world, in most Muslim communities. Oh, I do hijama. Yes, I do. I only ask him, what is your specialty to practice hijama? Oh, no, I don't, but you know, I'm trying, I'm doing. No, what is your specialty? During the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he didn't encourage the people to practice. He encouraged the people to get treated. You know the difference. He didn't say, okay, you have to teach everybody to do hijab. No, he didn't mention that. But he used to encourage the sick person to look for this method. Because this method, exactly what the angels mentioned during the journey of Mi'raj. The angels, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, while I'm ascending to the heaven, I'm going to the Sama al-Sabi'ah, while I'm meeting a group of angels, he said, "Oh Prophet, give an order to your people to do hijab, not to practice hijab." You know the difference. To do hijab. When you get sick, look for this as a treatment. And he said the best ever modality, the best ever modality of treatment, it is hijab. خير ما تداويتم به حجاب. The best ever way. You know? So when we said there is no side effect, we have to differentiate between the method itself and the practicing of this. And the prophetic medicine, it is unchangeable. And when I say unchangeable, that means when the Prophet said it is good, it will still good to the judgment day good. No changes. But the Western medicine or the human medicine always developing. The medicine used to take it in 80s, now it's become prohibited in 2000 because there is a great side effects from sulfur. You're taking Paxil, it is now not taken now. Celebrex, it's not, and that every year you have a list of medication. We used to take it for 17, for 20 years, the people used to take it, but now the science said no, it is bad, it has side effects. But the prophetic medicine, no, nothing like that. It will still, until the judgment day, we will use it. Because it carried a cure from the merciful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is a mercy for mankind. So, after this, let us go to the preventive medicine. Preventive medicine, it is one principle now. We have a word we used to say it in medicine, prevention is more effective than treatment or cure. So prevention of illness is better than you get ill and you start to look for treatment. That's right? So if you look to the old advices of the Prophet Muhammad and Allah, either in the Quran and Sunnah, you find all of them in the preventive medicine. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He gave us, I don't say this is just an order, it's just advice. وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا وَلَا تُسْرِفُوا إِنَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُسْرِفِينَ. Eat and drink, but don't do it too much. Because Allah dislikes the person who do it too much. Easy verses you can take it from. وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا وَلَا تُسْرِفُوا إِنَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُسْرِفِينَ. So if you love Allah and you need Allah to love you back, don't eat too much. That's very simple advice in the Quran. When the humans start to eat too much, drink too much, even if you drink juice or tea or something, but too much. Allah said, فَلْيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانِ إِلَىٰ طَعَامٍ. You have to look to what you are eating. Nowadays, you are not looking to what you eat. You know, you have the sandwich with this hamburger. You don't know what's inside the hamburger. Just, you know, they said it's meat, but hopefully it is meat, but it's not. It's something there. And now we have what is called the nanotechnology in food. Yes, nanotechnology in food, that's meat. They give you the nano smell. It's called the nano smell. Nano smell means it's some chemical components give the smell, for example, to pizza. And it's not pizza. Just you put it in anything, it gives you the same smell of pizza. And now, billions of dollars about nanotechnology in food. If you try to go to, for example, something to drink, to eat bagel with cheese, for example, and egg and cheese. Look to the store and look to the kind of eggs they are putting in your sandwich. They have frozen egg. It takes the same shape of the egg. That is not something that comes from manufacturing. Not from the farm as before. So in preventive medicine, most of us are not focusing that much about what we are eating. And it is advice from Allah. You have فَلْيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانِ إِلَىٰ طَعَامٍ. Look at your food. You are not looking at your food. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He talk about the food itself, we talk about it in different ways. You know, verse in Quran. If you start from Al-Fatiha till Surah Al-Nas, with hundreds of ayahs. prohibited, prohibited. It is not allowed and allowed, lawful and not lawful. What about the food? Because the food is the first disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The first ma'asiyah, it happened by Adam, it is a food. فَأَكَلَا مِنْهَا. He eat from the tree. So, المعصية الأولى كانت إيه؟ Food. The first sin is food. And when we eat, we don't care about what we are. Okay, give me a sandwich, it's a break, we need it max, that's it, you know. We need something huge. Yes. So, in prophetic medicine, we have to look at these and we follow. Some people said we have to have a proof. I said no, the proof only for the people who need to have the signs. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi wa nabiyina sallallahu wasalam, he said, قال ربي أرني كيف تحيي الموتى. Show me how you raise the dead people, Allah. The Prophet Ibrahim said that to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah said, أَلَمْ تُؤْمِنْ? You didn't believe yet? He said, no. قال بلى ولكن ليطمئن قلبي, to make our heart to get comfort, to get relaxed. No doubt in my heart about that. And that's what we are doing these days in research. We take the hadith and the ayah and we try to do that as the Prophet Ibrahim mentioned. So some brothers, during we have the defense of one of these theses about the effect of cupping of hijama on osteoporosis. And the researcher, she said, the conclusion of her research, when the woman has osteoporosis applied hijama, it has the triple effect of medication only. So if she take the medicine only, which is vitamin D and calcium and the medication they are prescribed for osteoporosis, if she took it only, it get benefit, but the benefit get triple when she take the medication beside hijab, covering. One of the brothers said, oh, you have to prove what the Prophet said, we don't need to prove that. And said, yes, we understand, we don't need to prove it. But this is now the way we have to communicate with non-Muslims researchers, with evidence. For us, yes, we believe. But there is no true hadith about the effect of cupping on osteoporosis. That's right. It became like hijama, the best ever treatment, that's good for everybody. But everybody, we need to make it specific. Does it help osteoporotic woman? She has osteoporosis or not? Does it help the post-menopausal woman or not? Does it help the person who has type 2 diabetes or not? Does it help? So we need to make more researches and to prove, to build up evidence. And when we talk to the people who said, well, you know, we have 100 research about the effect of one modality the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned. Other research we conducted last year about the effect of cupping hijama on type 2 diabetes. Too many scholars, too many people used to say, you know, don't make hijama, don't make cupping to the person who has the type 2 diabetes. Because the scratch has some effects and that. Yes. We said, okay, the people just mentioned that. Let us try. Even if we found it has a negative effect, we have to say it to the people. But we have evidence to say that, not just a word. So we conducted a PhD thesis. The student, he did it for 60 patients. And the conclusion of his research, he found the person who do the hijama once a month for 6 months, his glucose level, not only the glycolated, which is the hemoglobin, glucose, it becomes much better than the person who takes the medication on. So now we have evidence about these two. In prophetic medicine, we have to understand two things. Number one, we have to understand that Allah, the creator of us, He knows what is good, what is bad for us. The non-Muslims these days, they start to raise a red flag about alcohol. Don't drink alcohol because alcohol will make you feel so and so. Don't drink alcohol, the alcohol level in your blood may affect it so and so. The driver has to have 0% of alcohol because that's making him, the driving is safer than the person who has alcohol in his blood. You see, we thank Allah because we followed His order, because He knows what is good for us today and tomorrow and after tomorrow till the judgment day. So when He gave us a rules, don't drink, we don't drink. إنما الخمر والميسر والأنصاب والأزلام رجس من عمل الشيطان فاجتنبوه. Stay away from it. Stay away from it. خمر والميسر. أذان على الساعة كام؟ لسه 9:20. So we have to understand the rules of prevention in Islam. It's a great rule. And we have to keep our body في أحسن تقويم. In the best way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created you في أحسن تقويم. So try to keep it. It's a gift from Allah. Don't abuse your body. Don't abuse your mind. Don't abuse your spirit. No, keep it. And we usually feed our bodies. We don't neglect our bodies. When I feel hungry, I go to buy something and eat it. But we are not feeding our brains. Few of us feeding our brains. And very few of us who are feeding our spirit. So you have to give food to the three aspects. And you have to be equal. You have to be just what you are giving to the people. We have a test I used to do to my student in the first lecture in my class. I used to say, okay, write 9 things. You do it since you woke up in the morning till you go to bed at night. Usual day, don't tell me about the unusual day or abnormal days. So some of them say, I woke up, I eat, I go to work, I go to school, 10 statements. And at the end, look how to analyze it. See, the first statement, what he said, woke up and eat my breakfast. So this is statement for his body. The second one, put on my clothes and go to school. That's for his body. I do so, I go to gym, that's for his body. You found 9 things, you found 6 or 7 for his body. Look what he's doing. He neglected to mention, and maybe he's praying, but he didn't mention. It is not something come to his brain. He's supposed to say, pray subh, pray zuhr, that means he's feeding his spirit. And when he say, read a book, I do something, I think about something, that's he's reading his mind. Try to do that to your co-worker or to your student. Very simple test. Write 10 statements, 10 activities you are doing since you woke up till you go to sleep at night. Just 9 things. Because we need to see if it's a 3, he's doing 3, that means he's an evil person. You can see this person is mind or body or spiritual. And very rare, believe me, to find somebody said, I walk to pray Fajr. Then I said to read my Quran. Then I do so on. So if we mention 9 things like that, it's something is extraordinary, you know. So in prophetic medicine, we give enough care to our bodies, our mind, our spirit. Then we try to practice that in a good way. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, during his time, when he got the knowledge about one of the Sahaba, said he used to fast all the days and used to make Qiyam al-Layl all the nights, and he's neglecting his body. He said, no. إن لربك عليك حق وإن لبدنك عليك حق وإن لأهلك عليك حق فأعطي كل ذي حق حقه. So you have to give, to distribute your body to your God and to. So in scientific information about hijab, this year we had a big conference. It was held in Egypt about the new researches in cupping. One of the researchers said cupping clears the body from heavy materials. And this is one of the main issues that affect our body with sickness. You have too much lead in your body, too much mercury, too much, and that's from the pollution of the cars, from the food we are taking, and they found cupping will take care of these heavy materials, heavy metals in our bodies. The other research said cupping it helps as antiviral effect against all virus diseases, because it stimulates what is called nitric oxide, which has stimulant for T cells or T lymphocytes, which is antiviral. So if anybody has viral disease, cupping is good for him because it stimulates the T cells or the immune system of the body against the. Yes. Another research about the effect of cupping for woman health. Woman health, during the time of fertility in the woman, they used to give the woman too many injections.
Please, sisters, if you're not listening to the lecture, please walk out, because some sisters are trying to listen and they cannot hear from the noise. So either, inshallah, listen, or if you want to talk, the trailer is open. You can walk out to the trailer, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. This is the last warning, so please. Jazakumullah khair. It's almost over.
Jazakumullah khairan. Other research conducted about the woman health, because the woman during the fertility period of her life used to take contraception. And the side effect of contraceptive pills, especially, it has a very, very bad side effect in woman health. So they found accumulated contraceptive hormones under the skin, the cupping or the hijama, it can get rid of these chemicals with free radicals from her body and make what we say natural cleansing. We clean her body from all this intoxication. And they call it about hijama, it is a detox to our bodies. It takes all toxins outside the bodies. Other researchers research conducted about the effect of cupping on anxiety and depression. The person who has anxiety and depression, especially in our countries, a lot of people now has this illness. Anxiety, they are worried about their future, their kids, they are about their safety, about once they do the cupping, the level of serotonin, it got to increase in their body. And the level of testosterone start to increase in their body. And the level of cortisol start to get down in their body. And that's very good effect on depression and anxiety. Some researchers locally, they did it about effect of cupping on osteoarthritis knees, and on low back pain, cervical pain, spondylosis, which is inflammation of the cervical spine, numbness, tingling in the feet and hands. Some researches about the effect of cupping in eyesight or optic nerve atrophy. The people used to say, I used to watch good or see good, but my deterioration of my vision, especially with diabetes, I start, and the doctor said you can do nothing for the surgeon, the blood, your eye blood pressure is high. Yeah. And instead of taking these eye drops, the doctor started to say we do just a cupping to your eye, it makes your eye pressure drop down to the normal level. And this is one of the good results. Other researches conducted in England this last year about the effect of cupping on discogenic sciatica, which is عرق النسا, sciatica, which is a sciatic nerve problem, and they found that the people who have disc, herniated disc in lumbar region, the cupping will help to take or to get rid of the edema surround the disc, and the person start to walk much better with few exercise and some local cream to wrap it in this area. Topical creams. So you don't need to have this surgery for the laminectomy or to take the disc out like this kitten. Another research they conducted in Turkey about cupping last year, about the effect of cupping on epilepsy at the children. The child who has epilepsy, who has electricity, it's high in his brain, they found when he do this hijama, it starts to stabilize their brain electricity. And that is very good for children. And they have another research about the children who have autism and hyperactive child. And it helps. So we used to say, yes, we can start to do hijama in young age, but there is no evidence how young we can do it. Now the evidence said you can start to do it from the age of 1 year, especially for children who has this epilepsy or CP, cerebral palsy. They found also it helps to some psychosomatic diseases, the people who has some delusion, he can see something or hear something. They said cupping is very important and has a great effect in this. Few researches conducted in Saudi Arabia about in King Saud University about the content of blood taken from the cupping and the content of blood taken from capillaries and veins. They have a comparative studies. And it was amazing to find the blood coming from the skin when you do the cupping it is not good blood as the blood in your vein. It carries a lot of waste, a lot of heavy metals, a lot of fragmented and dead red blood cells or red blood corpuscles. So it is when the Prophet said Shartat Mihjam, he didn't say take the blood from the vein, because fast, it used to be a treatment at the time of the Prophet, but he didn't say that. He said the best ever is cupping, Shartat Mihjam. That means scratch of the skin at certain point. Another research is conducted in China about the effect of cupping in rheumatoid arthritis and systemic lupus. And they said it has good and curative effect because it's a way of taking out some of the waste of the blood. It is not, they said it is the only treatment which is taking outside the body, not giving in the body. Because most of treatment, you give the pills, you give injection, you give something. But this is the only treatment you take out from the body. And we still have now about 3 to 4 researchers working in it. Now we have one, the results not clear yet about the effect of cupping on congestive heart failure and the people who has in comatose patients, the people in coma, especially for long-term coma, the people maybe stay for months in this deep coma. We have some researchers working in these days, and we have another research about the people who has stroke, you know, this stroke in one side of the body. You know, when we say this every year, we try to find something. We have to go back to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam time to understand when he gave us all this information about cupping, all this guidance about the treatment is so simple, not costly like you go to for MRI, you go for investigations, you go for hospitalization. It costs a lot. And that's what I believe Allah's medicine is very simple. Because Allah didn't make the treatment very hard for the poor. Because the poor are the favorite people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah mentioned in hadith, الْمَالُ مَالِي وَالْفُقَرَاءُ عِيَالِ مَنْ مَنَعَ عِيَالِ مَالِي أَخَذْتُهُ وَلَا أُبَالِ. That means that the poor people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them enough care, good care. How it comes to prevent his medicine to his people? And the Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, إِنَّمَا تُنْصَرُونَ بِضُعَفَائِكُمْ. That means you get the victory, you get win by the poor people, by the weak people. Don't say the medicine these days in the world, and unfortunately we can see that we have 2 levels of medicine. Medicine for rich people who can pay cash. He has no waiting list. He can go and they have the transplant, kidney, liver, whatever, if you get the money, if you get the cash. And the medicine for people, poor people, you know, you have the card, you have to wait, you stand in the line, your time is not coming, you know, the person died before he got the treatment. Yes. So our treatment is very simple, and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned it in different aspects. So my advice to all of you, start there to read about it first, and start to practice it. Then start to encourage the people, give them advices about this. Not only you practice the prophetic medicine in yourself and your family, no. Start to بَلِّغُوا عَنِّي وَلَوْ آيَةً. The Prophet Muhammad said, you have to, you know, to give the knowledge to the others, teach. And you have to tolerate a little bit when the people start to make sarcastic, you know, and they say, oh, you're doing this, you're drinking a honey in the morning, you take the 7 beads, at the early morning, and you do 1 spoon of olive oil, because the Prophet Muhammad said, فَأْكُلُوا مِنْهُ وَادَّهِنُوا بِهِ. You rub your body with this olive oil, and you do. Yes, we do that. And you have to understand, you have to have a good confidence, not in yourself, but for what the Prophet said. It was وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. You know, if I start to give you stories and stories about how this prophetic medicine helped people, I'll give just one example about one of our colleagues. He's a psychiatrist. He's a professor of psychiatry, and his wife, she's a lab doctor. Called this lab doctor, clinical pathologist. Both of them. She got sick. She went to the hospital. They said, you have some acute abdomen. We need to explore what inside. They opened, and they found there is gangrene in her pancreas. Pancreatic failure. And they start to take it out and to take care of it, and she started to go deteriorating very fast. And the body system start to shut down one after the other. And this professor standing, do nothing. And the surgeon said, what we can do for her? Put her in the machine and we can. So I said, okay, they get their far. Did you try to put honey for dressing in here? And he said, no. I said, just try. And the doctor said, it is hopeless case. I said, okay, just try. And he took the honey, and he rushed to the hospital, and he talked to her doctor and said, please, let me do, if you said I can do nothing, let me do. And the doctor said, okay, do it a few days, and just make yourself feel, satisfied about it. And he started with honey. On the wall. He started to put the honey and to make dressing with dry dressing, just honey. And second day we found the body system start to work with. Gradually, the breathing, the pulse, the pressure, blood pressure start to come back. And the wound start to get, smaller. Start to heal from inside up. And the doctor said, oh, what is going on? Don't give her any kind of treatment. She's in supportive medicine. Supportive just means give her oxygen, cardiac. It doesn't give her medicine. What is going on? And he said, I do this. And he said, I'm so happy. I said, okay, the second thing, try to daw mardakum bis sadaqa. Pay sadaqa. I will do the sadaqa. I said, not only this. ويطعمون الطعام على حبه مسكينا ويتيما وأسيرا. You have to feed the people because it is one of the sunnah. And I feel, so happy when I come to United States because I found this sunnah still here. ويطعمون الطعام. In our countries, we used to have it. People, but these days, very few people who can do this. Here you can see al-asha, al-khayri, al-asha, the dinner. But this is a good thing, but you are not, seeing the good in this. And they start to, bring a lamb and he slaughter the sheep and they start to distribute the meat to the people. The condition gets much, much better. And say, what about the dua? We need to sit and make dua to her, not only just, oh Allah help me here. No. We need to sit and make all our dua by salah wa salam ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That's what happened in hadith. When one of the Sahaba go to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, say, oh Prophet, can I make, like 1/4 of my dua, salah, wassalam alayk? And he said, yeah, if you do it, it's good. If you do more, that's better. Okay, I'll make it half of my prayer. Salah wa salam alayka ya Rasulullah. Said, yes, if you do it, it's good, but if you do more, that is better. Said, I will do all my prayers, salatu wa salam alayka ya Rasulullah. And he said, if you did it, kufita hammak. Anything you want, Allah will give it to you. And وَغُفِرَ ذَنْبَكَ. You will forgive all your sin. If you look to this, when you do the dua, if you make dua 4 minutes, do you make 1 minute, Allahumma salli wa sallim ala Sayyidina Muhammad? You never do that. والحديث الصحيح said, من صلى علي واحدة صلى الله عليه بها 10. Do you understand when Allah makes salah on you? What the meaning? Do you know? لا الصلاة الله إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. صلاة الله عليك أنت تعني المغفرة والرحمة كما قال. Forgiveness and mercy. So if you are in trouble, real trouble, make your prayer, Allahumma salli wa sallim ala Sayyidina Muhammad. If you mention it just once, Allah will mention 10 times. Mention that to you. And he said, my mercy and forgiveness to you. What is your name, brother? Jamal. Allah will, when you mention Allah, Allah will mention your name, Jamal. You understand that? Once you say Allah, say Allah. Allah now said Jamal. فاذكروني أذكركم. So, never when you have a trouble, you have to keep linking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is the main principles of prophetic medicine. When you are sick, keep in touch with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, praying day and night, help me, cure me. I'm your slave, I am your, help me Allah. And when you cry, just your tears, when it comes, you will feel the reward come back to you and the cure. I have one of my patients, and this woman, by the way, to finish her story, now she back to her work, she in her lab working now, and it is one of the ayah, Allah make her as an ayah. Something to all of us. The other thing, we usually say the word we don't focus about. About the healing by الرقية. تصلي؟ لا أذن؟ طب أذن؟ لا يزالوا لي أذن؟ أنا أذن.
وكمان تصلي بينا.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة
حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. نفتح باب الأسئلة لو في حد عنده أسئلة. بس ملخص ما قلناه لغاية ما تبدأوا كده اللي عنده سؤال. بس ملخص نقول we try to summarize what we mentioned before we get some few questions from you. We said the prophetic medicine, it is Allah's medicine. Allah, when He created Adam, taught him all modalities to live in this life in a perfect way. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam never mentioned any hadith about health before he became a prophet during the 40 years. And after that, he mentioned on all aspects of life. He spoke about medicine, family, education, politicals, economy, leadership, everything. Because he's not talking about by his own, but he's talking by wahy. And we mentioned that the prophetic medicine divided into two main types, preventive and curative. And preventive medicine, we can see that in the Quran and the Sunnah as a main part of our medicine. By do and don't. Too many remedies the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam prescribed to us. No side effect of any one of them until now discovered. And if there is any side effect or any bad effect, it comes from the person who practices, not from the remedy itself. Like the honey is good, yes, but if the people start to add something to the honey to make it sugar or something, when it make it bad, that means a bad seller, bad person who sell, who trade this, not the honey itself. You got that idea. And we have to go back to the whole principles the Prophet came with it, which covered the body, mind, and the spirit. Even the word the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned in health, like ruqya, we have to believe in it. And too many researches, maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow or after tomorrow when we meet, about the researches in ruqya and the effect or the influence of word itself. How the word can change your body biology, change your cell communication, it change your mind, your brain waves, how the words, and this is one of the researches I made it, إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ تَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنْكَرِ. We measure the brain waves to the people who commit, sins or do a lot of troubles. And when we asked them to start to practice salah, we found the brain waves start to change. And there are 4 brain waves. We have it like alpha, theta, beta, delta. Alpha and theta, it comes with the people who go to the masjid, who do the charity, who's taking care of orphans and that. We found the alpha and theta's high waves in your brain. But when you commit some bad sin, you found the beta and delta is higher, sharp waves in your brain. إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ تَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ. Yes, when the person will start to practice salah, these brain waves start to return back to the norm. And that's what
We tried to mention today about the prophetic medicine and the new researches. We mentioned too many researches during the last year. You know, since I was here till today, too many researches now conducted, published about the effect of cupping, the effect of soil for honeybee, effect of Ruqya, and that's all over the world, not only in the Muslim countries. وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. If you have some few questions, we try to answer it. We will go from the right because we will not go back. I do this. Cholesterol. Increase the level of cholesterol. Okay. The cholesterol levels, all of us has a good level of cholesterol, which is level circulating in our blood. If the level of this circulating cholesterol get up, it makes the blood become thicker, and make the blood not easy to penetrate few cells. So we start to get headache, yes, heavy, tiredness, fatigue, depression sometimes. So the first key to decrease cholesterol, decrease the fat intake. Don't eat too much fat. Number two, you have to practice exercise. And don't say, I'm old, I can't practice. No, you can. Because exercise is for all ages. You can practice exercise according to your capability. You know, if you look last year, Mr. Singh in England is 100 years, and he passed the marathon 100 years. That's his old, you know. So don't mention I'm old to practice exercise. Because Mr. Singh made it for all of us, it's not challenging, make it so hard for us. So do exercise, preventing the intake of any fat, especially the lamb meat, and the skin of chicken, and the fries. And you can do some simple remedy. It is not prophetic, but it's traditional medicine. You have one small onion and one small potato. You smash it, you put it in the mixture with 1 glass of water, and for a few minutes, then you drink the water from it. After lunch, once a day for 1 week, and measure your blood cholesterol level, it will go down. And this remedy, I put in my book, three questions, and this book. You have it in this book, the question and the answer. So, yeah, I have some books here. You can buy it the book is very cheap. Just I will, if you need my signature, double the price. If you need my signature and my photo beside the book with you, it will triple the price. So it's up to you. Yes, it's free. So we have it in the book. Okay, the second question about the blood glucose level, which is sugar. You have to decrease the sugar intake and do some exercise, and we have some remedies which is good. You drink the boiled leaves of olive, اللي هو ورق الزيتون، مغلي ورق الزيتون, or drink the boiled leaves of berry, which is ورق توت. It decreases the blood glucose level, and sage will decrease, but don't take too much, because the others, when we drink some of this, we need to have the small time or little time until the body gets rid of it. Some of the herbs, it stay in our body longer time. And be careful when you take it and you have renal problem, because some of these herbs can sometimes make your kidneys has some problem. So too many things can help. For example, Al-Yansun al-Nijmi. You can search in the Google about the English translation of Amin. It helps a lot. But on the other hand, if you take it too much, it will have a side effect in the kidneys. But the main things for blood glucose level, decrease intake of sugar and carbohydrates, and practice some exercise daily. Go this way. Any questions? Alhamdulillah. Yes, good. Colon problem. Colon problem. They found the colon usually come from the nervous system. Yes, because it's connected. It has what's called sympathetic branch. We have a branch from the 10th cranial nerve. It's called the vagus nerve, and that's supply the colon. When you get in stress, you feel your colon get distended. So my advice, take something relaxing to your brain, زي الشمر، اليانسون، الكراوية، النعناع، البابون. الشمر، شمر، بالانجليزي، يانسون، يانس ولا يانسون، النعناع اللي هو المنت، البابون باسمه ايه؟ كامومايل هم دول شمر ينسون كراوية اسمها الكراوية يعني هي وهي بالانجليزي كراوية فهم دول بنعملهم ميكشر ويتاخدوا بقى بنعملهم ميكشر ايكوال اماونت وبناخد little small spoons على glass of water يبويل على النار نشربهم after meal. You will feel your colon begin better. And prevent any food make your colon get distended. يعني لو انت بتشعر ان مثلا الاونيون بيعمل لك مشكله we have to stop the onion. يعني انت كل واحد بيبقى عارف، واحد تاني يبقى عنده مثلا الكول فلاور ولا الكولي فلاور او الكابج. في واحد لو كان كابج بتعمل له distension in his colon. So try to prevent what you feel it is hard to your colon. Now, high blood pressure. Prevent salt, prevent fat, prevent any sadness or anxiety, practice exercise, and drink the كركديه which is the red tea. يسموه red tea ولا يسموه كركديه؟ hibiscus? Hibiscus tea. No, it's something. It's not proven yet. There is no evidence, but try. If you feel it, it will raise it. But take it cold, it's good. Allergies. It depends. Nasal allergy, throat allergy, both. You take the cloves. You know cloves? No. 7 cloves in 1 boiled cup of water. You put it for 8 hours. Like evening, you drink it in the morning. It will help for 7 days.
Boil the water with the clove or just boil the water?
No, boiled water, you put just 7 cloves inside and you cover it. And the morning you drink it in the early morning for 7 days. Further.
All the questions about common diseases, I don't know what I asked.
No, ask about the away food.
When we discuss Hijama with the Muslims, they always tell me that somebody put the Hijama some ancient culture.
Yes.
The Greeks, the Indians,
The Chinese, the ancient Egyptian, even the ancient Egyptian, like 5,000 years before the Christ, they have a wall in our ensemble film about covering and how they use it. But we usually tell them that Adam, he's the one who knows the hijama first. So we know, and his sons start to know it and to distribute it all over the world. If you go to all civilizations, you will find that hijama is one of the main principles of medicine at that time. Indian, Chinese, Greeks, Arabs before Islam, and all these old civilizations. But during times, when sometimes it becomes famous and the people start to use it, and after times it goes down, the people start to neglect it and don't practice that much. When the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ came, he started to make us to focus on it. He directed our attention. There is some modalities here. It is not just for your health, but it is advice from the angels of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They give it to you. So take it. And we believe as a Muslim, al-hikmah dhallat al-mu'min. Anything that have the wisdom, it is we look for it. As a Muslim, we look for wisdom everywhere. Like if I found now the Chinese people treating the patients with energy, bioenergy, for Muslim, I don't say it is bad because it comes from Chinese. No, it is good. If it is something, it's not against my religion, that's fine. Like some people, I know they have several programs, they try to criticize the energy therapy and it's come from Hindus and Buddhists. And I said, we get the treatment from everywhere. Al-hikmah dhallat al-mu'min. إنما وجد فهو أحق الناس به. If you find the wisdom everywhere, anywhere. For us as a Muslim, we are not, like a hard brain said, no, if it's coming from, no. We take it. Because if it is a knowledge, if it is an art, if it is a skill, we can take it and use it. The Prophet Muhammad, he didn't say, don't get the treatment from non-Muslim, no. Even during his time, they used to send the non-Muslim doctors to help the Muslims. So we have no problem. Even one of the three reasons, he put it in Ibn Taymiyyah in his book Al-Fatawa, the reasons to travel to non-Muslim countries, one of the three, you seek for treatment because they have, maybe if your body is sick and the non-Muslim countries have certain kind of treatment, you don't have it in your country, you travel to them. Don't say, no, I don't want to take it, no. So for us, it's okay to get it. Last question, I shall solve.
You mentioned something about Muhammad, his hand,
Yes.
and all position number. What's the point behind it?
Okay, I forget to tell the point. Very good. The example the Great, he said that don't let anybody to carry my body when I die. إلا أكابر أطباء ملكي. The biggest doctor is my kingdom. To give the people an example, these doctors can prevent the death when the time comes. The second thing, I need my hand to be outside of the cupboard to let the people to see it come to the, when I born it came empty, and now I'm living the life, it is empty too. I didn't get anything in my hand. And the third thing is to put the most precious goods, jewelries and between, in the two ways in the streets, from my palace to my grave. He said, the people have to see by their eyes. I collected all and I left it all. I didn't take anything with me when I'm leaving. That's it. He tried to give advice in his death to the people. Thank you for reminding me.
May Allah reward Dr. Amir for his beautiful lecture.